Hey, I'm Broken Finn. You can just call me Finn. This is part 5. Before Talon goes to Triton Avenue, they have a new spell to learn. Let's see what it takes to get their next bounce spell. You always pass your teacher in the mornings. He waves to you every day as you exit your dorm. This time, he waves you over to him. Mr. Weathersfield's shoes are muddier than usual. His suitcase is open, full of odd vases and artifacts. They are also covered in mud. You make eye contact with a snake-headed urn.
I've just returned from Crocotopia and brought some items I believe will help me teach the few balance students I have with future spells. I won't be using them today, but I say you appear to be ready for advancement. In order to know balance, you'll need to know of the other schools first. Learn about fire, ice, and storm from their representatives. Only by knowing the edges will you find the center of things. Toodles!
You dawdle to the ice school.
That was oddly cryptic.
The room is freezing. Icicles trail from the ceiling. One of them has frozen over a desk. The ground is covered in soft snow, and the carpet running down the center is encased in ice. You attempt to walk to the ice teacher, but slip on the ice and slide to her desk, all while attempting not to fall. Why, hello, my dear! I can see you are not familiar with the art of ice walking. She winks at you. What's a developing balance student here for?
I'm here to learn about 3 of the schools. What's so exciting about the ice school?
What's so exciting? Ice is powerful, magnificent! Did you know the great raven caused the giants to slumber and turn into glaciers? With the force of giants behind our school, I don't have to boast about how powerful our magic is. I discovered ice magic when I was a young fairy. My parents took me on vacation to a world called Grizzleheim. It was winter time there. I witnessed the giants of old with my own eyes. I've loved winter ever since. Winter in Caramel, where I come from, is a bit different. The snow is more of a cotton candy and there's barely a cool breeze. She pushes up her spectacles and realizes she's trailed off a bit. She continues. I became obsessed with ice magic, so teaching here was only natural. I will always remember my first trip to Grizzleheim fondly. If you ever want to learn ice as a secondary school, or change your primary school, I'll be here. You slip and slide out of the classroom.
Wow, ice magic sounds a lot cooler than I thought.
After quickly talking to Falmea, you find out the fire representative is her student Regina Flametalon, one of her newer students.
I thought a representative had to be someone more powerful.
You head to Gollum Court. This is one of your first times being in this area of Wizard City. There's foliage on every wall surrounding a central tower. There's a gate in the back locked away by a fire symbol. This area is loud. Plants cry and squeak constantly. A small mole in overalls and a straw hat is running around tending to each plant. A girl in orange is by the tower's entrance. Her face is in a book. All you can see is her crazy mechanical wings keeping her from touching the ground, and her very tall wizard hat. She mumbles as she reads. Anyone who can cast magic can summon a haunted minion and pull its strings. The most well-known school for summoning minions is Myth, but ghosts and monsters also commonly manipulate haunted minions. You tap the back of her book.
Are you the fire school's representative?
She peeks her nose over the binding. Ah, another balance student! I study balance magic as my secondary school, so Falmea assigned me to be the fire school's representative. The representatives are really just to teach balance wizards about the other forms of magic. None of the other schools study anything else unless they're in 2 schools. She closes the book and her cheeks redden. Sorry, I'm rambling. You want to know about fire, right? Well, for starters, it's the most powerful school. Its magic is derived from the dragons that ruled in the time of Titans. There was a great war before the entire spiral was created. Dragons, giants, and tritons fought for complete control. Before the dragons could destroy the giants by melting them into the sea, the great tree and raven put them into a magical slumber. If you ever decide to join a real school, Not saying that balance is all that bad, considering I study it as well. Consider fire, but only if you want to join the best.
Thanks, but I'll stick to balance. Do you know who the storm representative is?
She scoffs. Yeah, Boris Tallstaff. He's currently the strongest storm student. He's a rumor mill. I don't believe anything he has to say about his school.
I like learning about the other schools. It gives me a new perspective when I'm learning about all of them.
The library is in chaos. 3 books are dancing around the librarian, spitting papers everywhere. Written works are littered on the ground.
Get back on your shelves!
Harold shouts, pointing his quill at the rebellious books.
Enough!
Shouts a teen with a voice crack. His lightning yellow robes and stamping of his sharp staff strike fear into the books. The 3 novels pause, stick their bookmarks out like spitting tongues, then return to their rightful places. Your eyes widen with piqued interest.
Whoa, are you the storm representative? Are you kidding? Of course I am! I'm handpicked by the amazing Professor Baelstrom!
He raises an eyebrow, then gives a sharp nod of his head.
Name's Boris Tallstaff. You've probably read my work in the paper. Storm is the most powerful of the schools. Back in the first stage, the Trines practically drowned all the dragons by themselves! If Bartleby hadn't stopped them, well, there wouldn't be any fire school. But you won't hear Falmea speak of that. Why did you choose to study Storm?
His eyebrow quirks even higher.
Well, Professor Baelstrom is the most impressive teacher. His lightning strike after his speech to me made everything so obvious. If I can summon a storm, then I can do anything. A great wave can break through any spell. My father tells me about his crazy expeditions in Celestia. He wouldn't have made it out alive without storm magic. I've written about it in the Ravenwood newspaper. What do you think about the other schools? Well, I already said that Storm can easily squash fire. Life, death, and myth, they have their good points. But to watch Professor Baelstrom cast a kraken, well, you know Storm is to be feared.
You try not to wrinkle any papers on your way out of the library. Arthur Weathersfield is by the storm tree, using the rain to wash off his boots and the artifacts that were in his suitcase.
You're back! Did you speak with the representatives of the fire, ice, and storm schools? Lovely. I'm sure you noticed how they all claim to be the best school, didn't you? Well, they all speak the truth, in their own way. Each school has its advantages, but each school also has its own disadvantages. Balanced students and wizards learn about every school, so we can use the advantages in our own spells and know the weaknesses of the other schools. We draw on elements from each of them, incorporating bits and pieces to fill in the gaps between them. Before I give you anything, go visit the pond in the commons. Stand in the water and absorb what it has to teach you. Believe it or not, you will receive enlightenment.
He shakes off his boots and then himself. His fur stands on end for a moment.
Enlightenment? How could I get enlightenment from a pond?
You teleport to the commons. Usually there are bustling students at all parts of the day. All you notice is a single sprite, who's left the fairgrounds and is heading back to Unicorn Way. Her giggles leave with her, and you're left listening to the loud roar of the waterfall by Rainbow Bridge. You take off your boots and dip your toes in the water. You make your way in. The water is cold and filled with odd-looking fish. Nothing like from Earth. Mechanical fish, ones with cat heads, swimming boots, etc. You twirl and all the water life flees. You stare into the water, at your reflection. You can feel the flow of the water between your toes and the roar of the waterfall. The steam reaches your fingertips. You can tell there's a great power building in the pond. The fish leap out of the water. A large woman emerges from the depths. Pond water rains down everywhere. She cries to the heavens, raising her gilded scale to the sky. Water spills out of both bowls on her scale. She reminds you of Lady Oriel, but this golden woman is more elegant. Her dress is sparkling and auric. The dress ripples like the water. Her eyes are covered by a maroon cloth, and her hair is decorated in gemstones. Greetings, student of balance. I am Judgment. It is wise for you to reflect upon the lessons of water. It can take many states and assume great power in storm, ice, and fire. Water can be very destructive, eroding away both metals and mountains. It can become hot and cause burns when fire and lava are below. It also holds great power in the way in which all life requires it. The water has great power in the waves of an ocean, in the snow of winter, and in the steam of evaporation. It can also achieve a calm serenity, such as in this simple pond. Reflect upon the lesson and become like water. You too can achieve balance, my friend, by filling the gaps in every surface. She comes down to your level and holds the scales out to you. You look into the bowls on each side and notice a card, weighing down one of them. You pinch the card, hesitating to take it. She raises the scale once more and calls, "Yes, you are balanced. Use your knowledge of the other schools to find their weakness in future battles, young sorcerer." She places the scale on her head, holds her arms straight out in front of her, hollers again and vanishes into a beam of light, like a rip in space. You can't help but blink a few times, blinded by the light.
Wow. I hope I'll summon her someday. So you were visited by a minion of balance? Smashing! It seems you have completed your first assignment.
Mr. Weathersfield hands you another card.
I'm honored to welcome you into the Balance School and can't wait for you to see the classroom in Crocotopia.
Woof! I'm glad this is a shorter video. These videos take a lot of time to make. Anyway, the male presenting voices in this video are done by Pacnake. That's Pancake with the N and C switched. I hope you'll look forward to Triton Avenue in the next video.